Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, county buildings took a big hit from last month's Hurricane Irma. Votran is planning new routes for 2018 and wants the public's input. And we have details on spooktacular county events. Later on in the program, Joanne Magley gets an update on all the happenings at the Daytona Beach International Airport from Jay Cassens. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. When Hurricane Irma blew through Volusia County last month, she left behind extensive flooding along Beach Street in Daytona Beach. Two Volusia County buildings, the Daytona Beach Administration Building and the Daytona Beach Regional Library, were flooded and require extensive repairs before they can reopen. The Administration Building at 250 North Beach Street was under 6 to 8 inches of water. County staff acted fast to remove important documents and begin the process of drying out the building and removing drywall and flooring. Before the storm, the Administration Building attracted several hundred visitors every day, most of them for tag and title services. Other services in the building included traffic court, veteran services, human services, the property appraiser's office, and guardian ad litem. Each of these services is available at other locations throughout the county. To view the locations, you can visit volusia.org.
Our staff was in there the day of the storm. As soon as the storm passed, that evening, they were in the building. As soon as the storm passed, getting in there, it saved a lot of furniture and it saved a lot of demolition. It would have been much worse of a demolition, much more comprehensive demolition if we hadn't have been in there immediately. And I'm so proud of our staff, the Central Services Facilities people. Just awesome job of, in a week, getting everybody moved into every cubby hole in the county and every building in the county. And again, you know, it's not comfortable, but it's functional. The citizens, it isn't as convenient as when they were going to Daytona, but they are still able to get their services, just a little less convenient.
The Daytona Beach Regional Library on City Island also took a heavy hit from Irma's floodwaters. 80% of the library was flooded, with the most extensive damage in the children's area. Of the 120,000 items inside the library, only 200 were destroyed by flooding. All materials from the children's area and some from the adult area were moved to a dry location where they were dehumidified. During the closure, patrons are encouraged to visit other library branches within the Volusia County Public Library system. The John H. Dickerson Heritage Library on Keach Street has expanded its hours, while the Daytona Beach Regional Library is closed for repairs. The Keach Street Library is now open 7 days a week. 2018 will bring some changes for Votran, Volusia County's public transit service. But before that happens, Votran wants to hear from you. Votran will hold 2 public meetings regarding proposed service improvements slated to be implemented between February and June 2018. The first meeting will take place from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, October 24th at the Votran Administration Office at 950 Big Tree Road in South Daytona. The second will take place from 5 to 7 p.m. Thursday, October 26th at New Smyrna Beach City Hall, 210 Sam's Avenue in New Smyrna Beach. The proposed service improvements were discussed at a budget workshop during the March 2nd County Council meeting, where council members discussed the budget needed to increase service in response to demand for Votran services.
The first item that'll be new to the service that we provide is improved holiday service. So in years past, we had not provided any service on Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. And so in this current fiscal year, the county has actually provided funding for us to begin service on those 3 holidays. So other changes that we have coming, we're actually going to do a headway improvement to routes 7 and 11. So the time period between a bus coming to a particular bus stop will be reduced from 60 minutes to 30 minutes.
People unable to attend either of the public meetings are encouraged to submit written comments, which can be handed to Votran bus operators, or they can be mailed to Votran headquarters. An online form can be completed at Votran.org. All correspondence must include name and address. Comments will be accepted until November 24th. Individuals covered by the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 in need of accommodations for these public meetings should contact Votran at 386-756-7496, extension 4119, at least 2 working days prior to the meeting date. Information regarding the proposed action can be viewed at Votran.org. For hard copies of the documents, mail a request to Votran Service Improvements, 950 Big Tree Road, South Daytona, Florida, 32119. Today on Solutions for Your Life, Karen Stotterman, UF-IFAS Extension Commercial Horticulture Agent, takes us to the DeLand Farmers Market to spotlight Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Hi, I'm Karen Stotterman. I'm the Commercial Horticulture Agent for the University of Florida, and this is Solutions for Your Life. We're here at the DeLand Farmers Market for Think Pink, celebrating life and loved ones, commemorating breast cancer awareness.
3 foliage bouquets over here.
This is Think Pink, celebrating life and loved ones of breast cancer awareness that the University of Florida offers once a year, usually end of September, for the kickoff of breast cancer awareness in the month of October. We partner together with the Volusia County Farm Bureau and the cut foliage industry in Volusia County, which we are the capital of the world for cut foliage industry. David Register from Fern Trust Incorporated donated on behalf of the industry these beautiful flower arrangements to help commemorate the event.
Would you like a free foliage bouquet, sir?
The cut foliage industry is kind of a hidden gem of Northwest Volusia County. We're about a $70 million a year industry that a lot of people in the county don't know about. 80% of the foliages grown and sold in North America are grown right here in Volusia County.
Did you know that 80% of the flowers and the foliages that are sold in flowers across the United States are grown right here in this local area? Yeah, Pearson, Seville.
This year we're partnering with FFA from New Smyrna Beach High School, in which the students are doing an entrepreneurial project in which they're selling petunias, actually looking for donations to benefit the FFA organization.
Thank you so much. It's beneficial for youth agriculture education. They survived through Irma, so they'll grow for you.
About a month after getting through with the repairs from Hurricane Matthew, we were hit with Hurricane Irma this year, and it caused extensive damage to our industry. We're right in the middle now of triage and repairs from the hurricane. The residents of Volusia County can help fern growers in their area by purchasing flowers for special events such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, all the special events in your life, weddings, and make sure that foliage is included in those events. Another way to support our industry is to attend our Field of Ace dinner coming up November 18th. You can find the website on the screen, and I hope to see you there.
While we're commemorating breast cancer awareness this month, we also want to remember our partners, the cut foliage industry, which were hit hard by Hurricane Irma. So throughout the year, continue to buy your flowers. With Solutions for Your Life, I'm Karen Stotterman.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Are you ready to earn your stripes, or more appropriately, checkers? We hope so, because the Daytona Beach Half Marathon has unveiled the design for the 2018 Half Marathon shirts. This year's Half Marathon Relay and Challenge participants will earn a gender-specific dry wig shirt that includes the Half Marathon logo, race date, and checkered flag pattern, the most recognized flag in NASCAR. And due to the success of the inaugural Speedway Challenge, the event returns again for 2018. For the challenge, runners complete the half marathon, and then after, they complete a 5K. So they get 2 shirts, 2 medals, a special Speedway Challenge medal, and a bonus gift.
Because this is, for a lot of people, when they find it out, it's kind of a bucket list thing. Is you get to do something that you can't do any other time, any place. You're down there where the race cars are. So you get to run around that track. You get the excitement of being in the world's greatest automotive stadium in the world. You get to go from there down to the world's most famous beach. And here our beaches are gorgeous, they're smooth, but they're hard-packed sand in a sense that you can actually run on these.
The course starts inside the world-famous Daytona Motorsports Stadium, the same track the stars of NASCAR race. The course takes runners down Orange Avenue and through several of Daytona's neighborhoods and includes a jaunt through City Island Park, home of the historic Jackie Robinson Ballpark. The park, which originally opened in 1914, served as the host to the first racially integrated game ever in baseball history. Another route feature is the 65-foot International Speedway high-rise bridge, which not only provides runners a stunning view of the world's most famous beach from the top, but also boasts mosaics of manatees, dolphins, and other wildlife that are native to Florida. If you're interested in participating in the February 4th event but aren't quite ready for the half marathon distance, well, you're in luck. Race day includes a half marathon relay option and a 3.1-mile lap the track 5K. This means that whether running 13.1 or 3.1, every participant gets to experience the thrill of the Daytona International Speedway track. And because it's not a race without the bling, every finisher receives a medal. Regular registration for all of the day's events runs through January 31st. For more information or to register, you can visit DaytonaBeachHalf.com. Are you looking for a creepy way to jumpstart your Halloween? DeBerry Hall Historic Site and the Volusia County Public Library System are planning some fun frights for families and adults. Consider taking a candlelight tour of DeBerry Hall on Saturday night, October 21st. Guests will tour the 19th century hunting lodge, where they will hear spooky stories and experience some mild frights as they are escorted through the narrow hallways and darkened rooms once occupied by wine merchant Frederick DeBerry and family. The library branches also have some chills and thrills on tap. The Lake Helen Public Library will have a children's Halloween party at 3 p.m. Wednesday, October 18th. Kids of all ages are invited to stop by in their costumes for games, candy, and spooky books. Other library branches are planning events based on the writings of Master of Macabre, Edgar Allan Poe. A retired teacher will discuss his melancholy works and tragic life at library branches in DeLand and Port Orange. The DeLand Regional Library will host the 2nd annual Walk of Terror at 5 p.m. Tuesday, October 24th. The event will be based on The Red Mask of Death, a short story by Poe. Attendees can dress up and join the doomed Prince Prospero at a masquerade ball in the library's auditorium. For more information about the county's Halloween plans, you can visit volusia.org/Halloween.
It's a good idea for private well owners to test their water at least annually. Most water in private wells is naturally clean and ready to drink. But sometimes, like during a major storm, chemicals and bacteria can leak into groundwater. These contaminants could make you sick, and they can only be detected with lab tests. Fortunately, routine water testing is simple and inexpensive, and it's the best way to protect your family's health. Learn more at floridahealth.gov/wellstest.
Let's join Community Information Director Joanne Magley in the studio with her guest, Jay Cassens, Director of Business Development at the Daytona Beach International Airport.
Thanks, Amber. Well, our hometown airport recently released passenger traffic numbers for August, and the passenger traffic is on the rise again. So joining us in the studio is Jay Cassens, Business Development Director at Daytona Beach International Airport. Hi, Jay.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. So the numbers just came out for August, and they're good again. We've been on a roll. Talk about those passenger numbers.
We were up 11% for the month of August, and that's 4 straight months of passenger traffic increases over last year. So that's really great to see, considering we didn't have a new airline this year and we didn't have any new destinations, but increased capacity, the number of seats, and increased load factor really were the primary reasons we've had that increase for the last couple months. We do expect for the month of September to be down pretty significantly. You know, we had 67 flights canceled because of the hurricane. So.
Right. And Jay, I thought I heard you mention that this hurricane was the longer than last year's Hurricane Matthew, so the airport was closed for a longer period of time than what you had recently experienced with other storms and such.
Yeah, I think overall we were closed about 3.5 days, and we learned a lot from the last hurricane. I think we tried to start up a little too early. We didn't have, during Hurricane Matthew, we didn't have power. When we first started up and we were running on generator, which was really limited capabilities in the terminal as far as the utilities are concerned.
Right, no air conditioning.
Right, we didn't have air conditioning, so we kind of backed off a little bit, and we're a little more conservative this time with this hurricane, and I think that proved to be the right approach. So we learned a lot from last year.
Yeah, so when you reopened, basically everything was able to reopen. The car rentals, and like you said, everything was up and running, so it was business as usual once you did open that terminal back up.
Yeah, we had about a day to prepare to reopen the terminal and get everybody in position, get the airlines back in their facilities, get the rental cars back at the airport, and get the TSA in place, have them test their equipment. We rarely shut down, at least as far as the air traffic control system goes. We rarely completely shut that down, but in the case of a hurricane, we do have to shut down the radar portion, which does take some time to go out and physically inspect the radar systems and get everything back up and running. So it does take some time, and it's not like we can just start right back up when we end the storm. We have to go out and do inspections and get everybody back into place.
Right. So let's talk about the airline service. JetBlue has now been in service for over 1.5 years. January will mark its 2-year anniversary. How has that service been doing for Daytona Beach International Airport?
Even though they've been here for about 1.5 years now, they're still really in the infant stages of evaluating how successful the route is. We probably still have about another 1.5 years before they can really gauge how profitable the route is. You know, at first, they're going to stimulate the market and keep prices down very low to get people interested and used to using the service, and then they steadily start to increase the airfare, which is also increasing their profit margin at the same time. So then they get an idea, a sense of, okay, where can we price these airfares where we're going to make a profit, make a margin on the flight.
And JetBlue is nonstop from Daytona Beach International Airport to New York City. We also have Delta and American. Delta, which goes nonstop to Atlanta, and American nonstop to Charlotte. And then from there, those are major hubs that can take people anywhere. Anything new with those two services, with Delta and American?
Well, we do have Delta adding more capacity over the last 6 months and going into next year as well. Normally in the fall, they'll cut down to 4 arrivals a day. They now have 5 throughout the rest of the fall. And then in the springtime, they're going to be adding a 6th arrival. So that's something we've never had before. Normally we're always at 5 flights for Delta, daily flights for Delta. But this spring there's going to be 6 flights.
That's great news. And I know a lot of times, any place you go, you always have people saying, Jay, when are you going to get a flight to, and then, you know, it's the name of their hometown city. When are you going to get a flight to Cleveland? When are you going to get a flight to, you know, some city in Texas or out? And there's a lot that goes into when airlines make decisions to add a new flight or a new destination. So talk about that for a little bit, because it's not necessarily just where passengers want to go.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is that there's going to have to be significant demand to and from that other city pair. So with JFK, we know here in the community we have a lot of people that have moved here over time. There's a big connection between those two cities in Daytona Beach. So probably the next thing on our radar to add is going to be another major city or a hub, such as Chicago or Washington, D.C. Those are really what we're focused on right now, not necessarily the smaller cities. Now, there are some airlines that do focus on smaller cities, like your Allegiants, but those usually only operate a couple times a week. And you know, with Allegiant being so close and operating out of Sanford, it's probably not very likely that they're going to operate here anytime soon.
So let's talk about the financial picture of the airport so people understand how you operate. You are a service of Volusia County government, but you don't use ad valorem taxes to run the airport. You have to run the airport like a business would run. So talk about how that works and how all the other ways that the airport generates revenue.
So the airport uses all of the revenues that we generate to operate and maintain the facility. Anything that we generate from the rental cars, from the parking, from the food concessions, the airlines, all of that gets collected and then reinvested into our budget. And then not only is it used to pay for personnel and regular maintenance, but it's also used for projects. The major projects that we have are usually funded 90% by the FAA, 5% by the state, and 5% locally, which we chip in that 5%. But we don't use any ad valorem tax dollars, like you mentioned. We also have a lot of property around the airport. We have about 60 leases. We have 4 hotel leases, 2 restaurant leases. Embry-Riddle is our biggest tenant. So that's all revenue that we generate at the airport through our land leases that is then used to operate and maintain the facility. Now there's another couple ways that we also fund the airport, and that is through passenger facility charges. So it's a $4.50 fee that's on your ticket. It's then collected by the airlines and then used to pay off a pre-approved project. Right now it's still paying off the original funding on the terminal from 1992, which is going to expire shortly. So then we'll use that money to go to another project. The other thing that we recently approved was the customer facility charge. And that is a charge that will be on your rental car agreement. Every day you rent a car, it'll be $2.50. That money gets collected by the car rental companies and given to the airport. And then that particular set of money that is generated at the airport then gets reinvested into the car rental facilities only. So it's repaving the lots, covered parking, new signage, new ticket counters. That's really what that money is going to be used for.
So basically, the car rental, that facility fee, that's specifically for the people who use that service, which is the car rentals, and that money, for the most part, is, like you said, only used to upgrade and fix up, update the areas that have to do with car rentals.
Right, so most of the car rental transactions happen by a person traveling into the airport and then using a car for a week, 2 weeks, what have you. It really doesn't affect the local public as much because, you know, the people renting cars there are from out of town.
Right.
But then that money is used again for the operation of the facility to be reinvested. And it doesn't go anywhere else, and it doesn't get collected anywhere else, only at the airport.
You know, we talk about convenience a lot with Daytona Beach International Airport. We are a convenient airport as far as you don't have to drive an hour plus to another airport. We're your hometown airport. Parking is close to the terminal. Fares are very reasonable, and a lot of times, as you pointed out, they can be less expensive as long as you're looking enough ahead of time. One of the other convenience factors is that from time to time, TSA has an enrollment event at Daytona Beach International Airport so that people can sign up for TSA PreCheck. So talk a little bit about PreCheck, and then we'll get into the event that's coming up.
So TSA PreCheck is a program that's $85 for 5 years. You go online, you fill out the application, and then you make your appointment at the airport. So when you get signed up for TSA PreCheck, which usually only takes a couple days, you'll then get a known traveler number, and then you can use that on your ticket, and then you can use TSA PreCheck going forward. Again, as we know, Daytona Beach is so convenient, and you can get through security extremely fast.
Right.
It doesn't really come in handy as much as Daytona Beach, but when you're traveling back, like going through
Right.
JFK or Atlanta or another large city, you're going to want to have TSA PreCheck, because you get to leave your liquids in your bag, your shoes on, your suit coat on, and it's a separate security line, so it's expedited screening really is what it is.
And so the enrollment event is October 16th through the 20th, and the PreCheck office is located in the baggage area. And that's like you said, first you go online and sign up, and then you come to the enrollment center to finish the process. But it's very convenient for folks to be able to come to Daytona, because when we're not having an enrollment event, if people are interested in signing up for PreCheck, again, they're traveling probably at least an hour to do that process. Is that right?
Yeah, you're having to travel to another airport that's probably 45 minutes to an hour away. Then you're having to pay for parking. So why not just get it done here locally? You don't have to pay for parking. We'll validate your parking. Come in, get your fingerprints. It's usually a 5 to 10 minute process. Pay your $85, and then wait a couple days, and you're set up for TSA PreCheck.
All right, so if people want to follow what's going on with Daytona Beach International Airport, what's the best way for them to get information?
Follow us on Facebook or flydab.com, and that's going to have the most current information on there.
All right, well, Jay Cassens, Business Development Director at Daytona Beach International Airport, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.